Thank you. I have actually a jacket and a tie on, so I'm not sure if I should take umbrage at your description of my attendees at APICon and the way that you did. We are the cool kids, aren't we? Come on, let's face it. Yeah, there we go. So by now, you've been attending Connect, and whether you heard it yesterday or you knew it before you got here, you probably know a thing or two about APIs. You know that they are manageable, measurable, scalable, standard programmable interfaces that allow you to decouple your front ends from your back ends in a way, in fact, any end from any end, in a way that can drive significant innovation both inside and outside of your organizations. When I say outside, I mean between you and your customers, between you and your partners. And so it allows you to turn any existing information technology that you have into a programmable platform. It uses standard web protocols as the glue that allows you to pass just about any code and data between completely dissimilar systems. So for example, my Android-based smartwatch here can talk to your refrigerator, right, without any real issues or challenges. It relies on de facto and de jure standards like REST and JSON and the web, standards that are really well understood by developers and easily manipulated by any programming language, just about any programming language that matters today, in a way that completely allows you to pursue any business vision, any creative idea. You're completely unshackled. APIs are about freedom. That's really what they are. And who doesn't want some freedom? So when I was invited to come speak on this big stage today, we're thinking, well, what can we do that would be really special for this audience? You already know something about APIs. You're probably somewhere in your API journey. And maybe some of you know more about APIs than I do. But one of the great positions that I'm in as editor-in-chief of ProgrammableWeb is that I get to keep my thumb on the pulse of the API economy. I get to see what's happening on the bleeding edge. So I thought, well, what we could do is we could create an innovation showcase. I kind of know who's out on that bleeding edge doing that real forward thinking. And I could bring them here to explain to you what they're doing in a way that might motivate you to either go back and contemplate some innovations that you've never thought of before, or at the very least, maybe recalibrate your existing API strategy if you have one. And if you don't have one, get started, and get started pretty quickly. So let's get started with this. How many of you have heard of a guy named Sir Tim Berners-Lee? Right? He's the guy who invented the web, right? And that's a tough act to follow. He invented the web. Come on. But what a lot of people don't know is that he actually invented the thing that's supposed to come after the web, the next version of the web. Now, you've heard of Web 2.0, but in most cases, Web 2.0 is a marketing term that's been used to describe the web as a platform. But in Sir Tim's vision, the second coming of the web was about the idea that data could be almost intuitively linked across the web in a way that we don't have to manually program the links that you see on today's web pages. So today, when you look at a web page, you see a link, and because you can mouse over that link and look at it, you kind of have an idea of where it's going and what it's about. But the problem is that machines don't understand that context at all. And so Sir Tim Berners-Lee's vision for the semantic web was to enable that kind of linkage, to almost automate that linkage without us having to manually do it in a way that machines understood that context and led you from one bit of data to another across the entire web. Now, some of you are familiar with this concept. It's kind of called a graph. And how many people use Facebook? How many people use a social network? Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter? Okay, pretty much everybody. So you're familiar with this because within those networks, you're connected to other things, other people, other organizations. Those are called graphs. But they're manually connected, and they're within the walled garden of those social networks. Really, I shouldn't have to tell my Facebook profile where I work. I should just be able to link it to my LinkedIn profile. And then people who want to find out where I work can come to my Facebook profile and then see, oh, wait a minute, he works for ProgrammableWeb, and that's over on LinkedIn. That linkage should be automatic. It should be just come as a result of the data model. That data model is the semantic web. Semantic web, though, involved some pretty difficult technologies to kind of break into it. And so for a long time, it's been rather dormant. Sir Tim has had a hard time getting traction for it. However, now, because of APIs and because of technologies that allow, like I said, you can connect any end to any end, now we can finally find a way to use standard APIs, standard protocols, to actually put some wind in the sails of the semantic web. Today, it's called linked data.